You obviously can see, Russell, it is now Thursday, just past noon. I'm in Rouses Point, looking at the Rouses Point Fire Department building, Main Street, Lake Street. You can see that all of the wires overhead are gone. They do have the poles, but the wires go up the pole and then down the pole. These are the transformers you need. The only problem, they have these transformers every few hundred feet on the ground to run the wires. The wires are underground. This is a new street that was built by the state for 9B. And there's a new business right over here. One of the Turners is running a soft ice cream, hot dog, and so forth business right there. He used to work for the CN Railroad, and they've closed their office in Rouses Point, and he's getting quite a bit of business, trying to make a little living. Looking north. Beautiful day. I came into Rouses Point to pick up some old Montgomery Ward catalogs from the former operator of the store, the Montgomery Ward catalog store, which was located right on this corner right here. And as you look up, you see no wires to distract from the beautiful Lake Street in Rouses Point. Hope you enjoyed seeing your pictures on TV in a different light. It's different than what you normally see, and I did those last night in the house. Thought you might enjoy seeing them in the beautiful color and larger on your TV. If you want to show or look at your pictures, you can see them. Sure, you remember the Catholic Church in Rouses Point, Russell. Well, you can see the front of the church was right there. The brick, the older brick, and it had stairs coming down off the hill. Well, they decided that was too rough to, well, so was that truck, too rough. It was too rough in the truck business on Rouses Point, Lake Street. So they built this two-story addition in the front, which is nothing more than an entranceway. The stairs are right around that front windows. Wide stairs inside with no ice and so forth, and then that square section is an elevator that will bring persons from the first to the second floor. Also caskets that can be brought to the second floor in case of a funeral. And then they have an entrance from the little vestibule just as you go in the door, which is right there. You go inside, you can turn to the right and go in the basement of the church where they have a hall. They've done that 2.5 years ago, and the priest who was there then, is died here. A lot of priests in Rouses Point who are here at the time seem to die. Reverend Giroux died. It's an easy parish, really. There's no school, and they don't have any money problems. The rectory is right here. Monsignor Pendergast is here now. The northeast, we can see the new Korean bridge that goes across the lake. I think you were here when the bridge went up. I think I was still working. And lots of boats here at Gaines Marina. This is Gaines right here, right across from the church. Now, across busy Lake Street, we can see the mountains and the water, Lake Champlain, looking over into Vermont. I think I showed you before, just across on the Alberg shore, they built 3 or 4 new houses right in this area. There's one. Harrison's Pharmacy owns one of these. And Arthur Spiegel from Transborder had built one, and he sold his. standing on a corner just next to Art's house, and this is part of Art's property. They made the property wider, and they tore down his stone wall he had, and I guess they put up another one, or helped to pay for a new one for him. It runs all the way along here in front of his property, and he has like a little park on the other side of his property that he owns, and you can see the curbs and the wide sidewalks. They're 5 feet wide, I believe. Make it wide enough now for people with wheelchairs, electric wheelchairs. And this is Spiegel's house. Used to be known as the Greystone Manor. Also, at one time, was Phillips Hall. Many years ago, when Mrs. Phillips operated an inn at this location. It was built back in the 1800s. There again, you see no wires, Russell, all the way up to here. We're on the corner of Pine and Lake Street. This is our car, parked right. Maybe you haven't seen. Well, this is my mother's car. I'm driving. Teresa's got mine today. Hers is still being looked at in Moore's Forks. This is Pine Street. This is the corner of Champlain Street, coming in from Champlain on Route 11, meeting Lake Street here in Rouses Point. And this is where the Saxony Hotel had been, and it burned in the, I think it was 1983 or 4, you remember? Well, they finally got the person to tear down the part that was still standing in the front, and he recently built the new foundation, and he has capped the building. The property is for sale, as you will notice on the wall. It is for sale. Century 21 has it for sale. And he'd like to start a little restaurant there, maybe right on the corner, if it doesn't sell. This was known as the Windsor Hotel for many, many years. There's the busy traffic going on to Route 11. And this new corner is the Racine's new building. If you remember, it was here for many years. Fred Racine, and now it's operated by his son. And they tore down the old building and put up brand new stations for the pumps. And on the far side of this is a liquor store. And they also rent some property to Plattsburgh Motor Service, a wholesale auto parts. And then his garage is the Quonset hut in the background. By the way, I wanted to show you, this is what the wires look like previously in this area. These are the poles and the wires as they look like as you look at a street in Rouses Point. All kinds of wires and cable and telephone and everything else. Well, this is where they changed it and paid for the installation by the state, and this is what it looks like in the other direction. Nice, clean, very nice. Montpelier's old brick house used to own right here before he built his new house just to the north of there. His cabins are all gone. Look at the truck traffic through Lake Street in Rouses Point. All going to take, most of this will take Route 11 heading in our direction. 3 big tractor trailers, and this is right through Main Street of the community. It keeps your Main Street active, but it's also tough. It makes a lot of noise day and night. And this is one of the busiest corners in the North Country, right here. And these trucks have to wait so they can make the big wide sweep as they turn right. They can't have all this traffic. And as you look here, you'll see how many cars. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars waiting. And here's the big truck making his swing. They didn't give them any extra room. They should have even given more room here for these trucks. They run pretty close to the curb. He's just right on it. And there's another one swinging way out. No traffic there now. And he makes it easily. And a small one. Busy, busy. 9B and Route 11 in Rouses Point. Back in the 20s, Russell, this little area right here, just to the right, was a campground. They had more trees in there, and people used to camp overnight with their little tents and so forth. Didn't have trailers. And of course, they didn't have all this traffic to bother them either at the time. We're looking up lake now, water flowing to the north on Lake Champlain. That's part of Gaines Marina across from the church, and there's the Korean Memorial Bridge. Something named for the Korean War vets, Russell, here in Rouses Point. Then those are the pillars from the old Rutland Railroad Bridge that crossed right here, and some of the boat traffic you see on the lake. Not a lot of boat traffic, and we got some swimmers out today, just floating, I should say, just on the water, enjoying the beautiful day. Temperatures low 70s, humidity is very low. Gorgeous day, and it's just about 12:39 on July the 15th, 1993. Some more of the shoreline, and out to the point. They call this Chimney Point, I believe, or Lighthouse Point. There's a lighthouse out on the end, and then the mainland of that's a water tower over in Alberg, Vermont, and that's the Alberg shore. Beautiful day. Wish you were here, Russ. We could enjoy this water together in this beautiful day. It's cloudy. See, the skies are cloudy. The sun's behind the clouds right now. Some dark clouds up there. Maybe we'll have showers before this day is over. But over there, they're white, and then you get to the south, the sky is nice and blue. The car, this traffic is not letting up. Buildings built in the early 1800s here at Rouses Point. They used to bring merchandise in the back by boat. Then it was brought up to the top where they had pulleys, and then you see in the front they used to let it down here, and until waiting wagons that would bring it into the community of Rouses Point. This was called Upper Rouses Point at the time. The south end. 9B, just south of the village that Alec Goslar lived in many years ago. And then as his kids grew and the house got where it needed a lot of repairs, he put up a mobile home, which was right here. This is where he was living when he died, although when he died he was in the hospital and had been living the last few months with his daughter. It's a tractor trailer too, a tractor that he had to keep up the property. He owned property next door here, but that he sold off just before he passed away. And he still had a lot of items in this house and in the trailer. I'll show you, this is his fence and his building, and this is how far he lived from the outskirts or to the village of Rouses Point itself. This is where it starts, right here. Head slightly west. This is Smith Street in Rouses Point that goes up, and as you head in this direction you'll see that this nice house here on the corner is owned by Leonard Roth, who handles the drugs and the chemicals at the customs. Big lot here on the corner of Smith and Lake Street, or 9B. At the Lakewood Market to get some gas, for my lawnmower. You can see here it's $1.17 compared to the prices we saw last night, and even higher with $1.34, I believe, at the stations near U-Balls and across the road from U-Ball. This is the pump area here. $1.17, $1.24. The second price is if you're going to get credit on your credit card. They charge you for that now. This is the Lakewood Market, and they've extended. Kavanaugh Realty is in here now. And then there's a restaurant. And they've just added another Cleaners, Martin's Cleaners on the corner. And there's a laundromat, and Kavanaugh's is just around inside that corner right there. And you can see it's pretty busy at the Sandpiper restaurant. I think bringing most of those people in because noon hour is just getting over here in northern New York. The clouds look dark up there, don't they? That's in the northeast corner, just over Rouses Point. This is Route 11, heading into Rouses Point. These cars are coming from Rouses Point. There's a bunch going to Rouses Point. Or to the west, rather, of the station is the low-income housing. A whole bunch of units in there. One story for the elderly, low income. They have the local electric rates, and then the two-story ones in the back is really outside of the Rouses Point area for electricity, and they pay the higher New York State gas and electric rates. In addition to the North Country, Russell, Northern Tier chiropractor, Dr. Andrew West, and he bought this property right here on Route 11. It's the second house just west of the Hayford Road or the Golf Course Road. And he lives here and has his office here. Dr. Andy West, young man. His father was the shop teacher at Northeastern, and he came back to practice here. As we stop along Route 11, this is the Sunny Hill Farm with their horse standing out front. This is the old Sunny Hill Dairy. And they've got all their fences up, and they have their racetrack for practice, and they practice out here in the field. All kinds of fences. And the sun is shining here. I'll put my hand over the lens a little bit. And as I look down, again we see the crazy traffic here on Route 11. There's the Midway Market. The Getty gas prices there also $1.17. He more or less stays with the Lakewood Market in Rouses Point. And as we come around, we had the storage buildings here, and these are now leased to the Midway. The Midway operates them. They're right in behind this building. He also has the U-Haul, and he keeps his U-Haul trucks over here. And another operation called Bumpers. We'll get the picture of this sign. Greenhouses. Bumpers. Greenhouses. And he's got flowers, and right here on the Route 11, just in front of the storage buildings. You can see the orange part of the storage buildings in the background. Route 11 is developing and pretty well taking care of them, mostly on the south side, not much on the north side except for this one item. All the way into the road up above. We're standing just south of the shopping center and behind the Key Bank, Russell, on Route 11. We're going to get a little closer to the edge of the road. And you can see that the shopping center is busy as usual. Starting from the left where the liquor store used to be is Choicest Choices. Choicest Choices. Chinese eatery. Then there's the Payless Shoe Store. Arts Family Restaurant. And then United States Post Office, that's where Brooks used to be. Still got the laundromat. Obashan's Hardware. And then the Grand Union, operating as before. And just to the east of the Grand Union is the new home of Filio's Liquor Store. You can just see part of the sign. And all for $1. And then just to the right of that is Brooks. Brooks Pharmacy, now having prescription drugs. And as before, just to the east of that is Ames Store, as busy as ever. Lots of merchandise, lots of sales. The Grand Union Family Restaurant, Liquor Store, discount liquor store now. And then what was the Champlain Valley Bank, now Albany Savings Bank, with the drive-in window. And Route 11. Here we are, Russell. It's 1:15 in the afternoon. People are back from the lunch hours. And again, you can see the traffic continues to flow east and west on this busy Route 11. I would say nearly tenfold what it had been when you first moved to this area back in 79 or 80. This doesn't stop flowing. Across the street, the field is still there. Nothing's ever been built across the street. It's for sale again. It's owned, 11 acres, owned by the man from Saranac Lake who owns the Burger King franchises in the area. I think Paquettes were up here when you were here. They bought the property on the corner. Building. See a sign underneath there. The four first buildings on the west side of Route 9 or Main Street are not in the village, while on this side of the street, this whole shopping area is in the village. Our busy little shopping center, not quite so busy today at 1:15. Still a lot of cars. It's 5:45, Russell. I'm going to take you through a little walk, or a little walk through the trailer. This is the porch. Of course, the windows are on the left, and these are some cabinets I have bought from Harris. I think you may have seen those before. They're for drawings. There's 25 drawers in each one. 50 drawers. They're not filled. I'm keeping maps in them myself. I'll just pull one out here and show you. These are some of the maps that I keep. I think that particular one is Clinton County maps, and some other papers and some empty boxes up there I haven't used yet. Whole bunch of geographics on the floor, and it's a little heavy for the trailer, really too heavy. These are some cabinets I bought at St. Mary's last year. They were donated by Derringer, and they've got various customs information cards as to classification inside. This goes into the trailer through the door. How many times have you unlocked this door? Many, many. We'll open. And as we go inside, have some maps on the wall, and that's down to your former living room. And this is your bedroom. You couldn't sleep in here right now, Russell. These boxes are full of books and magazines. Nothing very important. There's 3 sets of rolling shelves in here. Geographics in the one straight ahead, and some Popular Mechanics on the one on the left, and over here on the right I've got some Popular Science and so forth. Cupboards are still full. The closets are full of my mother's things. They've been in there for 5 or 6 years, 5 years, never been emptied out. As I turn and look in the hallway, I have 3 file cabinets here, and I've got books, loose leaves filed in the cabinet there where you used to have your medicinals and Band-Aids and alcohol and so forth. And this is the big bedroom which I use for an office, and you can see that I've got pictures and articles on the wall. There's some books I just brought in here, and my 3-screen television and my colored television over there, and this is some cubby hole with various papers, 2 VCRs and Beta and a VHS. As we turn, there's a big picture of a car taken just above the border on Oak Street back in the 20s. That's a Model A or Model T, I'm not sure which. You can see the cement wall in the background just up next to where the Meridian used to be. My telephone out here. There's the door coming in. I've showed you before I've removed the closet doors and I've put shelves and over in this area. These are some of 487 videotapes, betas, that I purchased, and they're in alphabetical order. I don't have one place to put them all, but these are the A, B's, and parts of the C's up here, and the rest of them are in these boxes piled in this corner in alphabetical order, and looking for a place to put those now. So this is the extra bedroom that you use mostly for storage when you were here, and we'll take a walk down the hallway. Keep the drapes pulled. It's 84 in here today, not excessively humid. And as we come around, we're going to see a lot of stuff in here, Russell. There's a big table that you use. I have it in the middle of the floor with things that I sort and so forth. I've got a copying machine underneath that I'm not using. And over here, some blank video tape on the bottom there. These are all empty boxes to be used this winter when I clean them up a little bit. They're used. This is the cupboard shelving over here under the mirror. These are all extra Life magazines. A TV along there for me to, and then I've got some more shelves over here. This is a big poster of the inauguration in 1947 or 48 I guess, 49, Truman and Barclay. Excuse me. I've gathered my extra globes together, and they're over here in the corner, and I've got Adirondack Life, etc. under there. There's a stack of Plattsburgh papers, extra, that I haven't cut up yet. And in those boxes are all empty video cases. Over here I have some Yankee magazines and a whole bunch of cassettes on that shelf. And those there are movies for video movies for discs, regular disc player that plays them much like a VCR. Then I have 2 sets of shelves all the way across here of 78 records. Those are older ones, empty files. They aren't really empty. They've got loose leaf binders in all of those drawers up there. As we go down toward the kitchen, it's not any less crowded. Some paperwork out here. Then I've got some more shelving right here, and I've got some more file drawers over there. Some real old magazines called The World's Work, back in the teens, 1916, 1916, etc. 1914. And I've got some special glasses and so forth in the cupboards. Over here where the refrigerator was, I have a cupboard, and on top of that a slot for some small books and some more of the video discs, and an extra typewriter is hidden here. And as we go around, there's another copying machine that I'm not using right now. There's this hardcover National Geographics, 6 issues in each binder. These are some pictures that I used in one of the celebrations of the 50th anniversary of our school locally. These are all bookshelves full in the back. And over on what was the dining, what do you call here, hutch, that's all books. And this is a wire holder for magazines here, and a whole bunch of pocket books. Also, it's warm down in this end. This is where the sun is. Coming down Oak Street, crossing the bridge, the old Champlain Hotel, taking about 1860. You see the horse and the buggy, and it says Champlain Hotel. It took you to the railroad station right in front of the hotel. Now that whole porch is gone. And just below it is a picture taken in one of the bars or pubs in Montreal. Mostly local people. The man holding the pig's tail is my wife's father, Bernard Gay. He looks like he might have been in his 30s here. Taken in Montreal. This is a picture of Main Street in Champlain, standing about where Paquette's was, or the little park downtown, facing in the direction north, and that right where that tree is, the road turned to the right across the bridge and up Oak Street. Those 2 buildings right here are still there. They're still in Champlain. The big one on the left has been torn down. These were, if you can see here, the sign says Grant Wilson. That was Ulysses S. Grant and Wilson running for president in about 1870. It's an old picture. Here's another picture taken, if you turned around from taking the first picture and took this one, this was the American House. And just beyond there on the right, up in this direction, is St. Mary's Academy. This street here goes between the hardware store, the auto parts, and it goes around the back street to Cedar Street. There was a meat market downstairs. That belonged to Marshall Maynard's grandfather, I'm told. And there's a bar and grill there. As a matter of fact, Russell, we had a party for you there. Remember the party? It was in this building right here. The time they had the little going away party, and you were on the left side, the one way over on the left. That's where we were, and there was a bar on this end. This is an aerial picture of Champlain. The houses over here on the left are Church Street. This house is the one across the street from me, where Herdick lived and where Pitt Fido used to live. I live right about over behind those trees right there. There was nothing here then, and you live just off the picture to the left. This is a picture taken in the Village Hall downtown on the corner of Main many years ago. In about 1937, I think this picture was taken. I think that October 35. And a lot of local people, they had a Champlain Village Hall festival. And some of these people are recognizable in the picture, but I'm not sure you know them. This is a picture taken in July 1938 of the employees at Harris, and that time it was Sheridan. And some of the various people who worked there. Some of these people are still in Champlain, or their children are in Champlain. I don't know if any of them I can recognize for you, but this was here in Champlain, 1938, during the lunch break. So there's one of the car haulers that is parked over in the big parking area for Peppercorn Restaurant, former Burger Island. And there's a new load of stones or cement that's been dropped here. Since last night, I was taking pictures about 24 hours ago out here. We just about finished this tape, and I'll make a copy for myself tonight to keep it, and We'll be forwarding it off to you tomorrow. The sun is shining. You can see over on the cemetery it's nice and bright. The trees, we've got to get over there and clean up some of the broken branches. Again, John Wells has been out, but his garage is closed right now. He's packing it in for the night. Clark Herdick, who lives across the street, is gone on a trip for 10 days, and his house is vacant. He's out in Seattle, Washington. And as we look off to the number side here of 31 Church Street, that's where we live, in our yard. Someone's saying hello to you and to I. The toot of the horn. Notice the number 46 is gone. Well, you don't have to look very far. Just keep going up higher, higher. And there's our new number, 29 at Church Street, Russell. Got this from the firemen today. They were selling them, and they'd also come put them up for you if you wanted them, because they want to make sure everybody has the new numbers, but the new enhanced 911 numbers. My tape is flashing, which indicates the tape is done, I guess. So we'll call it a day right now, Russell. Hope you enjoy this little trip around Rouses Point and Champlain and the township, and showing you what's new. My tractor's out here because I filled it with gas. I bought the gas today, and I was running out. I was going to do some grass cutting, but I'm doing a meeting. It's 6:03. I got about 57 minutes to get down to the church rectory for a meeting on the cemetery committee. Teresa's been to Plattsburgh this afternoon, left about 2:30. She's back. Got back by 5:30. The breeze is nice here on Church Street. No humidity. A lot of humility. And Russell, again, thanks for the tapes, the pictures, and we hope that you continue to enjoy your vacation. Say hello to your family, the ones I know, especially Wally, and some of the men that I met at the restaurant. Good night from Champlain, New York on July 15th. 3 months after income tax was due for 1993. Looking at here, Russell, is the layout of the part of the outlet stores that are now functioning. You can see the big letter C along the top, left side and bottom, and all the little lines in the middle are the parking areas. I was standing, when I first started taking pictures, over on the right, just on the inside of that tip of the letter C, and this is what the present unit is set up to do, and all the stores are mentioned, but I mentioned those to you last night. Now I'll show you what it's going to look like when it's completed. Okay, this is what it's supposed to look like when it's completed. On the bottom, from right to left across, will be Route 87. The C on your left, lower left, that large C is the section Phase 1 that's already completed. We came in along the top of that from the left. We came in between those rows of trees and then drove in between the rows of trees into that area. Area 2 is on the upper right hand corner, as I mentioned, and will be actually further west than the opening into the sea. And then the lower, two-sided building to the lower right is the third phase. They may build phase 2 and 3 together.